Hello out there, everybody in the real estate world. I'm doing these videos so that anyone that's looking up a real estate transaction and doesn't quite know what escrow does, what is the role of escrow, what do we do? What do we do when the buyers are involved in the transaction? Sellers in a residential purchase agreement, what does escrow do exactly? So through these videos, I hope that it will create a better understanding and educate potential buyers, potential sellers, and agents on exactly what escrow does once we receive a residential purchase agreement. So on the buyer's side of an escrow transaction, we get the purchase agreement, look through it, contact the agents, get the buyer contact information, contact the buyer over the phone so that we can email to them our wiring instructions so that they can wire in their earnest money deposit within 3 business days. They only have 3 business days to get it in per the purchase agreement, not escrow terms. We follow the purchase agreement. So we contact the buyers, make sure we're speaking to the buyers, their names on the contract. Then we get their email information and send the wire instructions via email, call them to follow up, give them, or they call back in, either way, to get a password, to get the instructions, so that they can pull those wire instructions, take the wire instructions to their bank, and have their bank wire to our bank. Once the escrow receives the EMD, it gets receipted into our system, into the file, transaction file. Then the escrow officer sends out a receipt, a copy of the receipt, to the selling agent and to the buyers and to the lender, because when the escrow is open, shortly thereafter, we find out who the lender is. The buyer's already been pre-approved with their lender of choice or mortgage broker of choice. So right up front, the escrow officer knows who the lender is going to be, because with proof of funds, sometimes we get a copy of the proof of funds with the purchase agreement. Sometimes we don't, but the selling agent will let us know who the buyer is working with and who they've been pre-approved with to move forward throughout the transaction. So once the EMD is in, the escrow officer will work on getting the escrow instructions prepared and out to them, to the buyers. It depends on how the buyers want to receive the escrow instructions. They can go mail, email, either way. They can get DocuSigned. But the main point of the escrow instructions is to get them signed and back to escrow within 5 to 7 days. That's what we ask. Top 5 on a good day, on a good week. 5 is good, but 5 to 7 is sufficient. Because in a document that we send out, there's vesting information that we need to prepare a seller grant deed, and also the lender needs in order to draw loan documents. So we can't give advice on how you want to hold title. Please consult your tax advisor for that information on how you would hold title to the property for tax benefits, for tax purposes. We can't give you that advice or tell you how to hold vesting title to your property. So I just want to make that clear, because then escrow will get the instructions back, and then upon receipt of that, they're already working with their lender. So 99.9% of the time, we'll need the vesting information within, I'd say, a week. I mean, sometimes it's right away they ask for it. So as soon as you can get those escrow instructions back into escrow to the officer, that's the faster the better. Because we work with your lender or mortgage broker, whoever you're working with, to make sure that they're getting their bases covered with the information they need so they can continue processing the loan. If they're missing certain information, then it kind of holds things up. So make sure you get those escrow instructions back in a timely manner. So after the escrow instructions have been received, then the lender's just processing the loan, and they'll reach out to escrow if they need anything, and then we get it to them in a timely manner. And then once approved, fully approved by their underwriter, the loan's been approved, then they'll draw loan documents. So the loan document process is the lenders approve the loan, ready to go to docs, and everyone's working under the time frame of the close of escrow date. So the loan documents typically will come to escrow 1 to 2 days prior to the close date, because with all the new laws and everything, that the lender is ready to go, and once they get loan docs, they're ready to go, just with a few underwriting conditions. They're ready to go fund the loan. So the escrow officer will receive the loan documents via email. It's timely on the escrow side. They receive the email, then they have to print the documents, then they have to review them to make sure vesting's correct, property address, everything is spelled correctly, and everything is legit the way it's been throughout the transaction. And then she'll prepare them, which means after looking at them to make sure they're correct, there's escrow documents that also have to be prepared. Once they're prepared and ready to go, everything's good, escrow officer calls a notary, and a notary or the escrow officer will set up the appointment to sign the loan documents. So that happens when the loan documents have been received. So at that time, also at loan doc signing, the buyers know exactly how much money is needed in order to close escrow. So that's when the wiring comes back in. If the buyers haven't saved our wiring instructions for when they first wired the EMD in, we send it again with loan documents with the amount that they need to wire. So once they sign loan documents, typically within that, if it's not that same day or the day after, they go to the bank and wire those funds in. So upon receipt of the final closing funds, which has to be a wire, then the lender reviews the documents, escrow reviews their file, the money comes in, the receipts go to the lender, the receipt goes to the lender for the final funds wire. Then the lender reviews the documents for a final review. So once the final review has taken place, they're in a position to then fund the loan. So once the loan has funded, the lender wires money to title company. Title company releases the documents to the county recorder. The county recorder then sets it up to record. Once it records at the county recorder advises title. Title then advises escrow. Escrow then advises the agents, and the agents advise their clients. So the buyers will know once the documents have been recorded at the county recorder's office, they will get final confirmation from their agent. And then per the contract, in agreement with the buyer and seller, then what happens after that with the keys is between the buyers and the seller and the agents. So I hope that explains a little bit about the buyer escrow process. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. I have 15 years of escrow experience. So please feel free to reach out to me with any questions you may have regarding the escrow transaction. Thank you. Have a great day.